Well, tonight we're going to try to fix this window. It won't go down. So, let's get to it. Well, it's another late night and it's cooler outside than it is inside. And we got a little problem with, I was at the lake today, and we cannot get this window to go down. It screwed up a while back, then it started working, then it screwed up and it started working. Now it just hasn't decided it didn't want to work anymore. So let's, we're going to eventually replace the door, but until then I would like to see if I can get the window to go down. So let's see what we're dealing with here. So as we're moving in here, sitting, I don't know where the keys are. Let me go find the keys. Found the keys. They were exactly where they were supposed to be. Oh. Curses of being left-handed. All right. Turn it on here. Turn the car on. So all the windows go down, you know. They all go down except this one. And I need to figure out if it's the switch, which I don't think it is, or if it's the motor. Now mind you, this car's been in a wreck, so you're kind of at the mercy of whatever's under here. But there's another thing I might do while we're in there. I might actually see if I can push this dent out while I'm in there, just out of curiosity. If at all possible, I'd like to save that door. I mean, I do got a replacement door, but it's got all the information and VIN tag and stuff on the inside. So if there's any saving it, I'd like to, but it's not looking good. I also don't want to paint a door, which I'm going to be painting at least one. So we pop this out. You got the door locks, window locks, up and downs, and this is, what is that? Oh, that's the mirror, both sides. And of course we do have power seats here, so it's on the door. So just like we took apart that other door a couple videos ago, we'll just go ahead and pop this off. So, and then like when we put the rods on the 2011. So we'll just pop this off real quick, and then let's get under the door and take a look at it. So we got the panel off, and it was interesting nonetheless. You know, we had to take the, this is for the optional door lock, trunk lock here, and this was for the power seats. So let me show you the back of the panel here. Flip the panel over. Here, there was an extra screw back here that held on the panel. Where did it go? Yeah, it's back here somewhere. Holds the panel on, and did I have to take that off? I may not have. Oh, yeah, I had to take that off. It was or not. Whatever. So yeah, that's for the trunk release right there. You know, this is pretty much typical with all Crown Vics. The seat, for the seat things. Kind of just had to pop it up off this, which it goes into that hook. And then all this stuff fell out. I don't know what it is. I found a quarter. That's the clip. Oh, Papa John's pizza. When did this expire? Oh, 2015. All right. So all this stuff fell out. So I'm 26 cents. Oh, 36 cents richer. So what I like to do is once I get this off, I'm going to go ahead and hook the switch module back in. That way I can put my hand on the motor. I can, you know, kind of feel around, jiggle some wires and all that. All we really did here was get a bunch of access, which is what we needed. I still want to know where that screw came out of. That's just weird. wouldn't let me out, so I had to pull the screw off, and then it just didn't go anywhere. Weird. So let me get the module in, and then we'll go from there. Now make sure you plug in the window lock switch too. We got these both plugged in. I don't think I need to do them plug in the mirrors or the other thing, but it's got this here. Probably ought to. Ooh, that's just crusty. See if I can pull this back a little bit and peer in here and see what I'm dealing with. Yeah, that's got to be a trick. Oh look, it's custom fit for a Ford or a Mazda. These are factory Pioneer speakers in the doors, so they did put some good stuff in here. And like I said, it says it's custom fit for a Ford or a Mazda, so if you go to the junkyard, some of those Mazda cars out there, I bet you if you need replacements, check out a Mazda. You're probably going to find one. So we got the car fired up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn this off. And we're going to just, we need to hear the no, I don't like that beeping, but let's see if we can hear the switch down here. So I can actually hear it down there in the motor, so I think the motor might be jammed. So let's peer down here and see what we're dealing with. It's way up there, is it? Oh, there it is. So, yeah, or is that the speaker? Nope, that's the speaker. So, that's the motor. Yeah. So right now I've got my hand inside here just kind of feeling around. Part of why we do all this stupid, seemingly pointless stuff is because this stuff, it's not screwed in anywhere. It's all riveted. And it is a real booger. Okay, this is the motor right here. And it's riveted. And to get it in and out is just an act of sheer tyranny of will. Luckily, the way they have it is this is the motor right here. They got smart and they drilled holes. So I could pull it out. I actually could pull it out. Don't know if I want to do that tonight because I'm probably going to need a new motor. I have a new motor. I have to go check out those other doors, but I can feel it here. Now here's the problem that you're going to have is you don't know how much stuff you're going to have to take off. So what I'm going to do here is probably just feel around in here, see if I can find a loose wire or something like that. I feel a crimp. That tells me that, oh wait. Well, that still tells me someone's been in here before. Now what I'm doing here is an old school trick. I'm loosening it up without taking it out. That way I can get a little bit of a jiggle on it. And if it is indeed jammed, I gotta, you see it right there in the holes. Moving it around. So if it's jammed, I can actually maybe knock it loose. So let's see what happened. I did that a little bit. It's no dice. So let's June bug. Let's see what we can work with next. Now here's the problem. Conventional wisdom would tell you the motor's bad. But we don't know the motor's bad because this car has so many moving parts. The old days, the switch was on, off, up, and down. There was power to it. It was in the center position. You move it back to go back. Move it back to go front. It was very easy to test. You could just use a jumper wire. This is not so different. Or this is not so different. This is completely different. This is the driver door module. And this is what controls everything. Now, I don't think it's in here. Most likely it probably is a bad motor. But you can't discount this out. I mean, this is you know, part of all of it. So you really have to really do your troubleshooting and figure out and go through the steps and figure out what needs to be done. Now, I do have that other motor in the other door, but I don't know if that motor's good either. That motor could also be bad. The door has been sitting for quite a while. Chances are it's fine. Once I bought the once the car was stripped, I bought all the pieces, and they've been garaged ever since. So I'm gonna go do a little more troubleshooting here, and we'll see what we find. Now, just for the sake of argument, I went ahead and pulled the window motor out. Let me show you what we're dealing with on the door. I looked at it, I realized it wasn't gonna be too bad, so we can do this in a video easily. I'll show you. What you're dealing with here is when it pulls out, you got those 3 screws there. They actually go through here. Now, you want to be careful of this. This is the gear that makes the window go up and down. Just pops right out of that. You can kind of see down in there where it goes up, and yeah, you can avoid screwing with that thing there. You want to. Now, if you notice, there's no speaker here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just pop that speaker out of that door, set it aside, and that will give us all the access we need to put the motor in. And there's a electrical shield that goes over the end of that motor that fell down. I've got to grab that, and then as soon as we do that, we'll get the motor. So here's the electrical motor. It's made by Simmons. It's driver's side's got this part number 3W. You can see that there. That's the part, or all the, yeah. So I'm assuming this was still good. Took it right out of that door, which ironically probably had to come out anyways, because I'm going to be replacing this door. Well, I don't know yet. Replacing this door, and I got to paint that door. So I'm going to pop this speaker out and take these bolts out, and this actually is pretty straightforward. Well, it's confirmed somebody's been in here before. This motor's obviously been replaced. It just clips on the outside here. Let me show you. Okay, so somebody's been in here, like the speakers have been replaced. The motor, what did I do with the motor? Motor's been replaced. Somebody's been in here before. There's where it connects right there, so that makes it really nice and easy. So what we need to do first is I'm going to hook the new motor up. Actually, I ought to hook this one up. Well, no. I think I see the problem. Well, we'll test it, but I'll hook the, what did I do with that motor up, and we'll just field test it on the car before we put it in. And then we might have to test the actuator, because if the gears here are bad, well, nobody needed to see that. If the gears here are bad, it'll be another problem that we may not be able to fix, but I just wanted to make sure the window wasn't jammed. Okay, so the motor works. I don't recommend hitting the down button because it's got the automatic, so we need to take this back apart and hook it up inside. Now, when you're putting this in, you're gonna have to clock this into this just right. It likes to go in. It's got a gear. Get it in and get it. And this hole's the easiest to start first because you can see it. You've got to go through both pieces because it screws into the back one here. Then put this one in. And once you get these in, this bottom one should go right in. So start with this one, and then this being the last one, and it'll make it for a little easier time. So now that we have the motor in, let's plug this thing in once again and see if it goes up and down. Yep, that was it. We got a working window now. So now we have to put it all back together. Now, truthfully, I prefer to leave the protected plastics and whatnot on the door, but if you saw that plastic, the more I messed with it, it just kept getting worse and worse. I would rather keep it, but it's just, it just had to come off. There was just no way. So let me get a rubber handled hammer or something to stick. I'm gonna see if I can't push this dent out a little bit. What got me thinking about it was I did pull it out with a suction cup here. Chances are, I mean, if you look inside, there's a door bar that goes through here, and it's probably not going to come out. But I think if I can get a little more out, I mean, if we could save the body line, I could save the door. Truthfully, the door could be saved if somebody really wanted to body work it, but these doors are still plentifully available enough, like I said, I've got one, that most people aren't saving this. And, you know, thankfully we're not in Cuba or any place where this is the only door you have. So let me see if I can pop this out, and then we'll just have to go from there. Back in a flash. Now, believe it or not, I actually did get a bit of that dent out, but I don't think it's going to matter. If you really wanted to body work this out, you can push it out like you see here. I did push it out a bit here, but getting under here and right here where the door bar is going to be a task. And redoing this body line will be very tough. Let me show you. Part of the problem that we're having is to push it out on this side. This is where a lot of the damage is right around this door bar here. And then off in that corner there, and if you look in there, there's some electrical equipment and stuff like that. All that would have to come out. So as much as I hate to say it, I'm probably going to have to strip that door completely down. I got those doors because I really wanted the glass. It's all factory tinted smoked glass. And I wanted it in this car because eventually I do plan on painting this. I have a lot of plans. But I did want the glass, and that's really why I bought that, to replace all this old scratched up glass. If you ever pull a car out of a field, don't ever roll the windows down. That's actually how this glass got scratched. Dirty windows going down, and it literally just ground it right in. So yeah, if you pull cars out of fields with electric windows and stuff, wash the windows and wash the tracks and wash it up before you ever roll any windows down, because you'll scratch the crap out of them. So yeah, I learned that the hard way. So let's get this door put back together. So we got the car put together. Everything went back seamlessly, except that little screw on the end. I can't quite figure out where it goes, but all the other screws are in. I'm not sure what it does, but I'll have to investigate further, which means I may have to pull it back apart eventually. But everything's in. Everything works. The window goes down. So I'm really pleased about that. And as you saw, you know, the hardest part about this was basically just taking everything off. The switch panel, those are just so fragile. I wish there was an easy way to do it without breaking it, but it seems almost every one I've ever taken off, no matter how gentle I am, something cracks. So, something to keep in mind. Simple motor. Took 5 minutes once you got it in there. The hardest part, fish it out, fish it in, snap, in, out, bing, bang, boom, she's done. I might actually just go ahead and pull this apart here, this motor apart here soon, and plug it in, and just out of curiosity see what failed, because a lot of times when these gears get jammed, these gears, they do sell replacements, so there's a very good possibility I could, in fact I might even be able to pull this out. it's a very good possibility I can just buy new gear and the motor itself is fine. This motor was hot when I pulled it out, which tells me that most likely it's just a bad gear. Motor's trying to turn, it's not letting it. So I'm going to pull this thing apart and see. But as for this video, that's it. Just motor replacement. Popped a little bit of that dent out. Doesn't look much better. But yeah, so I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You know, it's just simple video, motor replacement. It's a whole lot easier than you think. And guys, I got lucky. I got some doors, but truthfully, I'm going to see if these motors are the same on all of them, because you go to a junkyard, you go find a passenger door or a driver's door. Maybe the back one's the same. I don't know. I'm going to go pull them apart and see if they're all the same here eventually. And if they are, I'll let you know, because that's a game changer right there, you know. So maybe. I guess time will tell. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next video. Pulled these screws out, gave a little jiggle, and suddenly everything loosened up. So it's jammed in here. So this part's bad, but the motor's still good.